Who even is Anthony Joshua's next opponent? Well, he is fighting a man called Christian Prenga, and it's going to be in Riyadh. Christian Prenga is 20 wins, all of his wins coming by way of knockout and one defeat. He's from Albania, got a good following over there. Why is he fighting Anthony Joshua? Well, the Tyson Fury fight, the big mega fight, finally, fight that should have happened about 10 years ago, is now confirmed. The deal is on. And yes, this is simply a warm up fight for Anthony Joshua, this Christian Prenga fight. But who even is he? Look, I don't get why it can be like Nelson Heiser or something, because at least, he's more well known than Christian Prenga. I actually didn't know who this guy was. I actually had to look him up. He's beaten no one of note. He lost to a journeyman. But again, people might say he can whack. He's got 20 knockouts out of his 20 wins, but who's he beaten? No one. That's the answer. He's beaten absolutely no one. I don't know where and how they found this guy. I don't know where and how this all came about. But look, I was expecting to be underwhelmed by Joshua's next opponent because it's a warm-up fight, but I was expecting it to be someone we all bloody knew. No one knows who this guy is. Not even proper hardcores know who this guy is, apart from unless you're Albanian, you know who this guy is. But yeah, I don't like it at all. Look, Fury fought Makhmudov. That's a warm-up fight because it's a style which was perfect for Fury to beat. Fury was never going to lose to Arsenal Makhmudov. It's a name that Fury was never going to lose to. For Anthony Joshua, it's like, this isn't even a name. Who is this guy? Look, what does fighting Jake Paul and Christian Prenga do for you going into a Tyson Fury fight? What do those two fights do back to back? What do? They do absolutely nothing. All AJ is going to go in there is just beat this guy in about 2-3 rounds. That's what's going to happen. He's just going to go in there and knock him out. It's not really a warm-up fight, is it? Fury, he actually got a warm-up fight out of Makhmudov because, he went the distance. He got rounds in. AJ's not going to get any rounds in here. Like, let's be real. He's coming off that loss to Daniel Dubois. Then he's coming off a win to Jake Paul, but it's like, again, that's not a real fight. Christian Prenga is like, what? No, it's not a warm-up fight. He's just going to go in there and blow the guy out of there. It's not a warm-up fight. A warm-up fight is Fury and Makhmudov. That's a warm-up fight. We look back at AJ's fights. A warm-up fight is bloody Helenius. A warm-up fight is Jermaine Franklin to get back into things. They're good warm-up fights. But this, what? No. It's absolutely atrocious what we're getting here. And again, look, it is a case of them probably not wanting to risk a big payday, and of course, fair enough. But the reality is you could have gone a way better and make more sense way out of that instead of picking Christian Prenga to fight. It makes zero sense. It makes absolutely no sense. It could have been anyone. It could have been anyone that we knew. I was shocked. I was like, what? When I saw this, it's worse than what we thought. I mean, I guess we were told we were going to be underwhelmed by the bloody opponent, but I was not expecting this. It's absolutely awful. Like, why can't it be like Jalolov or something like that? Like, that's a warm-up fight, and he's a name as well. That's the thing. That's what I don't get. That is what I don't get. Why can't it be? I think it should have been Heiser or something, Nelson Heiser. That would have been better. Vianello, it could have, you could have got a hold of. Kevin Lorena. I'm looking through it here. Kevin Lorena, you could have got a hold of. He's a name. Tony Yoka. He was meant to fight a Cody. Bring him in. AJ should smash it. Hughie Fury is a warm-up fight, and again, it builds on the story going into a Tyson Fury fight. That makes sense. AJ would beat him. Yeah, I think it's absolutely shocking, to be honest. Or bloody Kingsley Ivey, like the guy who Jarrell Miller beat. You could have stuck him in there with AJ. He put on a good performance against Miller, in my opinion, but we're stuck with this. I think it's an absolute joke. I think it's an absolute farce. It's better not be pay-per-view. I don't think it is, but it bloody better not be pay-per-view. It's not going to sell anything. Like, honestly, it's shocking. It really is. But the positive is that we are going to see this Tyson Fury fight. But what's even the point of Anthony Joshua taking this fight? He's going to get harder fights and bloody sparring than Christian Prenga. Let's be honest here. Um, I personally think it's a complete waste of time, and he's not gaining anything out of this. It's not a warm up fight. It's just he's just gonna blow him out of there. It's not a warm up fight. It's not something that should be happening.